What if I told you that one of the most futuristic cities on Earth, a glittering metropolis that seems to rise from the desert like a mirage, was once a landscape of sparse, wind-swept plains? A place where the loudest sounds were not the roar of supercars on 12-lane highways, but the quiet footsteps of camels and the murmur of merchants in bustling souks. This isn't the plot of a science fiction film. This is the real, astonishing story of Dubai. It's a city that has transformed itself at a speed that seems to defy the very laws of physics and economics, morphing from a humble coastal village into a global symbol of ambition. But to truly understand Dubai, you have to look past the gleaming facades and record-breaking towers. The story isn't just about wealth. It's a gripping narrative of visionary leadership, calculated risks, and a relentless ambition to literally build the future out of sand and sea. By the time we're done here, you will see this city of superlatives in a way you never thought possible, understanding the hidden engine that powered its meteoric rise. To begin this incredible story, we must rewind the clock, long before the first skyscraper ever broke the horizon. For centuries, Dubai's story wasn't written in glass and steel, but in the shimmering turquoise waters of the Arabian Gulf. Its heart, its soul, its entire reason for being was the Dubai Creek. This natural seawater inlet wasn't just a geographical feature, it was the lifeblood of the community, a bustling artery for trade and life itself. The settlement that huddled along its banks was not a city of towers, but a modest, resilient community of fishermen, traders, and Bedouins. Life was governed by the rhythm of the tides and the shifting seasons. The oldest building in the city, the Al Fahidi Fort, was built back in 1787, not as a tourist attraction, but as a vital defensive structure, a symbol of a time when survival was a daily concern. This was a world away from the luxury and security that define the city today. For generations, the most precious treasure pulled from this region wasn't black gold, but the iridescent glow of natural pearls. For more than 7,000 years, the waters of the Gulf were a source of some of the world's most sought-after pearls. From May to September, hundreds of dhows, the traditional wooden sailing vessels, would leave the Dubai Creek for weeks at a time. The work was grueling and perilous. Divers, with nothing more than a nose clip, a leather sheath for their fingers, and a basket, would plunge to depths of over 30 feet, holding their breath for minutes at a time, searching for the prized oyster shells. It was a trade built on courage and endurance, and it formed the undisputed economic backbone of the region. The pearls from Dubai were so renowned for their quality that they attracted merchants from as far as Venice and India, linking this small, sun-drenched outpost to the sprawling web of global commerce. The wealth generated from this pearling industry was what first put Dubai on the map, laying the economic foundations for what would later become one of the UAE's most dynamic cities. But as the 20th century dawned, a storm was gathering on the economic horizon, one that threatened to shatter the very foundation of Dubai's existence. In Japan, a breakthrough in technology led to the creation of cultured pearls, flawless, perfectly spherical, and mass-produced. They flooded the global market, and almost overnight, the demand for natural pearls collapsed. For Dubai, the effect was catastrophic. The industry that had sustained its people for millennia was rendered obsolete. The city plunged into a deep and prolonged depression, its primary source of income gone. It was a moment of existential crisis. Many other pearling towns in the region simply faded into history, unable to adapt. But Dubai was different. It possessed an intangible asset more valuable than any pearl. A vision held by its ruler, Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, who ascended in 1958. He was a leader who understood that to survive, Dubai could no longer rely on a single resource. It had to think bigger. It had to diversify. Even before the discovery that would irrevocably alter Dubai's destiny, Sheikh Rashid began planting the seeds of a new economy. He possessed a profound understanding that connectivity was the key to future prosperity. His focus was laser-sharp: trade. He knew that if Dubai could become the most efficient and welcoming port in the region, commerce would flow through it, regardless of what goods were being traded. One of his first and most critical decisions was to invest in dredging the Dubai Creek in 1961. It was a hugely ambitious and expensive project for the time. The creek was becoming silted and was too shallow for modern, larger vessels to enter. Many advisors thought it was a reckless gamble, a waste of precious capital when the economy was still fragile. But Sheikh Rashid pushed forward. The dredging project deepened and widened the waterway, allowing ships of up to 500 tons to anchor directly in the heart of the city. The impact was immediate and transformative. Trade volumes exploded. Dubai solidified its reputation as a key trading hub, snatching business from other regional ports and proving that strategic infrastructure investment could generate its own powerful momentum. Then, in 1966, in the offshore Fateh oil field, everything changed. Oil was discovered. While Abu Dhabi had found its massive reserves earlier, this discovery was a crucial turning point for Dubai. The first shipment of crude, a modest 180,000 barrels, left the shores in 1969, and with it, a new stream of revenue began to flow into the Emirates' coffers. This was the moment that could have defined Dubai as just another oil-rich state. But here is where the story takes its most unexpected and brilliant turn, revealing the core secret of Dubai's success. Sheikh Rashid and the leaders of Dubai looked at the newfound oil wealth not as a destination, but as a fuel. It was a finite resource, a temporary gift to be leveraged for a much grander, more permanent vision. They were acutely aware that the oil would one day run out. This philosophy was perfectly encapsulated by Sheikh Rashid's famous, almost prophetic statement: "My grandfather rode a camel. My father rode a camel. I drive a Mercedes. My son drives a Land Rover. His son will drive a Land Rover, but his son will ride a camel." It was a powerful and sobering warning against the dangers of complacency and the short-sightedness of relying on a single, exhaustible resource. This wasn't just a clever saying. It became the guiding principle for the nation's development. Instead of simply living off the oil revenue, they reinvested it with an obsessive focus on building a post-oil economy. The money was poured into massive strategic infrastructure projects that were designed to make Dubai an irresistible hub for global business. One of the first and most audacious of these was the Jebel Ali port, the construction of which began in 1976. At the time, many international observers called it a colossal folly. Dubai already had a successful port, Port Rashid. Why build another, much larger one, seemingly in the middle of nowhere? But Sheikh Rashid saw that the future of shipping was in massive container vessels that required a deep-water port on a scale that had never been seen in the Middle East. The project was immense, requiring the creation of the world's largest man-made harbor. Queen Elizabeth II herself inaugurated the port in 1979, a testament to its global significance even before it was fully operational. The port wasn't just a standalone project. It was an anchor for the Jebel Ali Free Zone,
a massive economic area offering unprecedented incentives for international companies, such as zero taxes and full foreign ownership. This integrated approach was revolutionary, creating an entire ecosystem for trade and manufacturing that would attract thousands of businesses from around the world. Simultaneously, another bold structure was rising from the sand, one that would become an icon of Dubai's ambition. Construction on the Dubai World Trade Center began in 1974. Designed by the British architect John Harris, the 39-story tower was conceived to be the tallest building in the region, a solitary skyscraper that would act as a beacon for international business. It was a powerful statement. While other cities were building horizontally, Dubai was building vertically, signaling its intent to become a modern, global commercial center. When it was completed, its plain concrete exterior didn't quite have the impact Sheikh Rashid wanted. He ordered it painted a brilliant white, ensuring it would stand out against the desert landscape for miles around. These projects, the creek, the port, the trade center, were more than just concrete and steel. They were the physical manifestation of a daring strategy to use the fleeting wealth from oil to build a permanent, diversified economy based on trade, logistics, and finance, ensuring that the generations to come would drive far more than just camels.
With the foundational pillars of trade and logistics firmly in place, Dubai entered the 1990s and 2000s ready for its most audacious phase yet. The leadership knew that to truly secure a post-oil future, they needed to capture the world's imagination. They had built the hardware, now they needed to create the software, the global brand, the magnetic pull that would make Dubai not just a place to do business, but a place people dreamed of visiting. This is where the story transitions from pragmatic infrastructure to pure, unadulterated spectacle. The strategy was simple but audacious: build icons. Create landmarks so unique and over the top that they would become global conversation pieces. The first of these was the Burj Al Arab, the world's first 7-star hotel. Completed in 1999, its design, mimicking the sail of a traditional dhow, was an instant architectural marvel. It wasn't just a hotel, it was a statement of intent, a declaration that Dubai was redefining luxury on a global scale.
But this was only the beginning. What came next was a project so ambitious it was visible from space: the Palm Jumeirah. The idea was born from a simple problem. Dubai has a relatively short natural coastline. The solution was anything but simple: build more. Construction began in 2001, an epic feat of engineering that involved reclaiming land from the sea. The project required over 94 million cubic meters of sand dredged from the deep sea floor. Desert sand was too fine and would simply wash away. And 7 million tons of rock from the Hajar Mountains. It was built without using concrete or steel for its foundations. Instead, it relied on the sheer weight and precise placement of sand and rock. A crescent-shaped breakwater, 11 kilometers long, was built first to protect the island from waves and tides. The result was a perfectly formed palm tree shape that added 78 kilometers of new beachfront to the city of Dubai. It was a mind-bending achievement that cost an estimated $12 billion and forever altered the map of the world. While the palm was rising from the waves, another even taller ambition was taking shape on the mainland: the Burj Khalifa.
Construction started in 2004, and for the next 6 years, the world watched as it climbed higher and higher into the sky. It was an international effort, with over 12,000 workers from around the world contributing to its construction.
The sheer scale of the materials used is staggering. Concrete equivalent to the weight of 100,000 elephants and enough aluminum to build 5 Airbus A380s. When it opened in 2010, it shattered numerous world records. At 828 meters, it is the tallest building in the world, with the most floors, the highest occupied floor, and the world's fastest elevators that travel at 10 meters per second. Its design, inspired by the desert spider lily flower, features a Y-shaped structure that isn't just for aesthetics, it's an engineering necessity to provide stability against the high desert winds. The Burj Khalifa became the ultimate symbol of modern Dubai, a vertical city that cemented its place in the global imagination. These spectacular projects were part of a wider, incredibly successful strategy. Today, tourism accounts for a huge portion of Dubai's GDP, while oil contributes less than 1%. The city has become a global hub for aviation, with Emirates Airline growing from just 2 leased planes in 1985 to one of the world's biggest international carriers. It's become a center for finance and even a major player in the global gold trade, with some estimates suggesting that 20 to 40% of the world's physical gold passes through Dubai each year. They even built a winter wonderland in the desert. Ski Dubai, located inside the Mall of the Emirates, is an indoor ski resort covering 22,500 square meters with 5 ski slopes, including the world's first indoor black diamond run and a constant temperature of -4 degrees Celsius. It's a place where you can meet a colony of Gentoo and king penguins just minutes away from the scorching desert heat. From a small community dependent on the treasures of the sea, Dubai has utterly transformed itself into a city that creates its own impossible realities. Its story is not just about building skyscrapers, it's a powerful testament to the limitless potential of human vision, a lesson that the most valuable resource isn't what you find under the ground, but the ambition you use to reach for the sky.